At this martial arts studio in Queens, New York, some students are learning more than just exercise.
I really built this confidence to be like, okay, it's okay. I can go out there and help somebody.
In addition to Kung Fu and Tai Chi, owner David Chang is also teaching self-defense and what he calls bystander intervention.
The type of student we love to have is a person who, seeing something, wants to step in and stop an attack or something bad that's about to happen.
He started those classes because having to step in or fight back has become a common fear for many Asian Americans in New York City.
Good job.
According to an alarming new study by the Asian American Foundation, across the city's 5 boroughs, 1 in 5 Asian Americans reported experiencing physical attacks or assaults in 2023. And over half of those surveyed from that community reported encountering hate towards them because of their race.
We have experiences of people who are being spit on, punched, pushed, kicked from behind in broad daylight.
For Joanna Lynn, that fear became reality last August when she says she was attacked on the subway by a 16-year-old girl who saw Lynn recording her as she appeared to assault an Asian American woman and verbally harass her family.
It happened so fast. She just darted over and just punched me. I was covered my head to protect my vitals, and I was so stunned.
The NYPD confirmed the unidentified teen was arrested and charged with 2 counts of assault. The district attorney's office said the case has been moved to family court, but declined to give us further details.
I've had similar incidents that happened to me, and I really saw myself and my family taking the subway when we were young, and we were so helpless. And I just didn't want this family to experience what we had to.
On a national level, about 1/3 of Asian adults say they personally know another Asian person in the U.S. who has been threatened or attacked because of their race or ethnicity since 2020.
There has long been a history of aggression against Asian Americans, but it rose to new levels and new heights during that pandemic period.
I want to turn now to a disturbing rise in attacks on Asian Americans,
putting communities across the country on edge.
We're not only worried about our health, but our safety as well.
Over 10,000 anti-Asian hate incidents were reported in 2021. That same year, 65-year-old Vilma Carey was viciously attacked on her way to church in the heart of New York City.
He said the words, "F you, Asian, you don't belong here." And he kicked me. And I fell on the ground. I wanted to scream, but I could not. And I just looked at him and was thinking, please stop.
The man who attacked Carey, Brandon Elliott, was sentenced to 15 years in state prison this February, pleading guilty to 1 count of assault in the first degree as a hate crime.
How have your behaviors changed?
As I told Mr. Elliott, you put fear in my heart, and that fear will linger. I have fear of going out by myself. I have fear of being around people.
How long did it take you to realize that this was a hate crime?
At that moment, I was not really thinking about all those things. I'm just focusing on the pain. How am I gonna walk? How am I gonna bathe? How am I gonna eat? How am I gonna do, just the daily life?
Mom was in a mentality of she really didn't want anybody to know. She felt like she wanted to deal with her pain and understand the incident and really didn't want to make a big commotion about it.
We have this in our culture. If we encounter any kind of violence, any kind of attack, verbal, physical, anything, we don't tend to report because of that shame. We don't want to call attention to ourselves.
It's an issue the commanding officer of the NYPD's hate crime task force tells us he wants to fix.
It's not surprising that there's still underreporting going on, and it's certainly not surprising that people feel this way.
Do you feel comfortable in saying that the objectives are being met right now, or is there still more work to be done?
There's always work to do. There is always work to do. We're continuing to work on our outreach, that grassroots approach to building trust.
And Vilma Carey is hoping that by sharing her pain, others will find the strength to do the same.
Do you see what you've done as courageous?
Yes, yes. I felt I was given a voice to speak about it, and I want and intend to use that voice, spread the word that there is help. There is hope.
Ellison Barber joins us now in studio. You know, Ellison, you think about Vilma. She has all this courage to sort of sit down with you and retell the story and speak out. And I understand her and her daughter are also doing something else to sort of help out the community.
Yeah, so they started this nonprofit. It's called AAPI Belong. So AAP parentheses I Belong. And it's a nonprofit that is focused on providing a safe space for people who have experienced anti-Asian hate to share their stories anonymously or publicly, to connect with other people, to raise awareness about what is happening. And also, they say, to create a space where they try to alleviate shame from the discussion. One thing Vilma told me was, she said, growing up in the Philippines, she said there's a word in Tagalog they have for shame, and it's called haya. And she said, but it's bigger than shame, because the idea too behind it is don't embarrass your family or your community. And she said part of the culture around that word means that people don't feel comfortable coming forward and saying, hey, I was a victim, because they're embarrassed. They think it will embarrass their family. And she said she and her daughter realized they had these two different life experiences, one growing up in America, the other in the Philippines, where culturally maybe there was some space to talk about that it's not shameful if something happens to you. It's actually not your fault at all, and you should have help and recourses, and you should feel safe reporting it. And so they're trying to foster that space.
She talks about that shame in your story, and you wonder how many Asian Americans aren't reporting these crimes because of that shame. What type of resources are there in the AAPI community?
So one thing that was interesting in the report that was conducted by TAF, the Asian American Foundation, and we mentioned it in our piece, this is what we're focusing on, most respondents said they wanted better relationships with police and also mental health access and just options available to them. So on their website, they do have some things that people can go to and find. There's a local advocacy group they list, or nonprofits in your city that are working to combat AAPI hate, whether it's through education, self-defense, or working with government officials. The Asian American Federation has also launched an anti-hate campaign, an anti-Asian hate campaign, listing safe zones, victim support services, as well as safety training. And we're talking about New York specifically. The NYC Commission on Human Rights has launched a website to report harassment or a crime. That's available in multiple languages. And then neighborhood advocacy groups like Main Street Patrol, you heard from one of their members in our piece. They are now using social media and other platforms to try and educate the community on how to stay safe when they're traveling on the subway.
Ellison, a big thank you to you and your team for bringing this story to us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.